the origin of language, the genetic source. Let's now look at another aspect or other proposal. Physical changes in human baby. We see that there are a lot of changes in human baby, and in a very short period of time, the human baby that is very helpless or that has a different anatomical features in the beginning changes these features. So what are these changes? Let's look at them. Brain is only a quarter of its eventual weight. So very small brain compared to the body size when the human child is born. Right? Larynx is much higher in the throat. So in the babies, the larynx which covers these vocal cord is very high. That is very important for drinking and eating, and will not let the baby choke of food or any liquid. So that's very important. But very soon, in a less than a year, the larynx start descending. Right? In a short period of time, the larynx descends. It comes down almost into the middle of the throat or neck. Right? Brain develops. The brain develops, and the human baby start talking. Right? An upright posture, and he starts bipedal and starts of walking, and talking starts. So the baby who was born in a very different stage with different physical features, unable to stand, is now standing. His brain was very small, but his brain develops. His larynx was very up in the throat, but it gets down, it drops down. So these are very important physical changes that takes place in a human baby. Automatic set of development and the complexity of the young child's language have led some scholars to look for something more powerful than small physical adaptations of the species over time as the source of language. So when the scholars look at the human baby and found that there are so many rapid changes taking place in the human baby, as we just said, the brain, the larynx, and the being bipedal. So this forced the scholars to think of some other theory for the origin of language than the physical adaptation. It means that they have some other source of origin of language. So human offsprings are born with a special capacity for language. So they were forced to conclude that human beings are by birth have some capacity, some innate capacity to use language. So this became a source of human language, or the origin of human language. This is, they say that it is innate, no other creature seems to have it, and it isn't tied to a specific variety of language. Right? So this language faculty is innate, and no other creature, apes or chimpanzees or dolphins or any other creatures share this faculty of using language. And one thing, that it isn't tied to a specific variety of language. So this basic capacity to use language is not a specific language as the divine source of language thinks of, that there was some language which was the basic language. It says, according to this theory or this proposal, it is not a specific language. It is language, not a language. Is it possible that this language capacity is genetically hardwired in the newborn humans? So they put up this question that how this possibility is there that this capacity is hardwired. It means that this was genetically found in human beings and not in any other animals. So as a solution to this puzzle of the origins of language, this innate hypothesis would seem to point to something in humans' genetic, possibly a crucial mutation as the source. So, according to this, at a certain stage, there took place some special mutation, some special difference that only took place in human beings that enabled them to use language. So, not a gradual change, but something that happened rather quickly. This is very important, as all other proposals say that language develop as an evolutionary process, whereas according to this theory, language just started very quickly. It did not take much time, and it was not a gradual process that first man started using single utterances, and then by and by he started combining those utterances and started using meaningful utterances. According to this proposal, this use of human language was quick, not gradual. So we are not sure when this proposed genetic change might have taken place or how it might relate to the physical adaptations described earlier. So we are not sure when this actually took place. If we look at the fossilized features, fossilized discoveries, we do not find anything. There is no such fossil, any skull or anything, or any bone or any other artifact that tells us that when it actually started. So our speculations about the origin of language, moving away from fossil evidence or the physical source of basic human sounds towards analogous with how computer works. So as computers are hardwired, so simply this theory believes that human beings are also hardwired. They have the capacity to use. They are made for it. So as computers are made for it. But the investigation of the origin of language then turns into a search for the special language genes that only humans possess. So if we believe that human beings are hardwired, they have a genetical feature of using a language, so there must have been some genes in the human body that is responsible for using language. So far, it has the research has not been able to find any special genes. We do know that it is used in the left hemisphere of the human brain, but we cannot precisely say that certain genes is responsible for using the human language among human beings.